Ladies and gentlemen, every new day is a precious gift, a fresh page in the story of our lives. How we choose to fill that page shapes not only our journey, but also the impact we leave behind. Today, I want to share with you 10 beautiful ways to become better each day, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us. Step 1. Begin your day with intention. Each morning offers you a quiet opportunity, a soft reset that many overlook in the rush to begin. Instead of diving straight into obligations, distractions, or digital noise, choose to begin your day with clear intention. This is not just about having a to-do list. It's about aligning your energy, thoughts, and purpose before the world places its demands on you. The first hour of your day often shapes the quality of the rest of it. Protect it with mindfulness. When you wake up, take a few moments to simply breathe. Before reaching for your phone or stepping into your routine, give yourself the gift of stillness. Ask yourself, what kind of day do I want to create? What kind of person do I want to be today? These aren't questions for your calendar. They're for your soul. Beginning the day with clarity creates a powerful internal compass, guiding your actions with meaning rather than mere motion. Set small but purposeful goals for the day, not just tasks, but values. For example, instead of just aiming to finish a project, set the intention to bring patience, focus, or kindness into your work. Instead of just trying to get through meetings, choose to listen more deeply, to speak more kindly. This subtle shift from doing to being while doing transforms ordinary days into deeply meaningful ones. Many successful and self-aware individuals practice what's known as morning alignment, a few minutes of journaling, quiet reflection, reading something uplifting, or visualizing the day ahead. These practices are not indulgent. They are intentional acts of self-leadership. They remind you that you are not just reacting to the day. You are shaping it. When your day starts with meaning, it rarely ends in regret. Even when life feels chaotic or heavy, starting your day with intention helps you reclaim a sense of control. It's not about pretending everything is perfect, but about choosing how you will respond to the imperfect. You can't always control what happens, but you can decide who you'll be through it all. That's the quiet power of intentional mornings. They ground you in your values before anything else can pull you away from them. So tomorrow, before the world asks anything of you, ask something of yourself. How do I want to show up today? Then breathe, listen, and move forward with quiet confidence. Your day and your life will be better because of it. Step 2. Practice daily gratitude. Gratitude is not just a fleeting feeling. It is a mindset, a discipline, and a powerful lens through which to view life. In a world that constantly pushes us to want more, do more, and chase the next big thing, pausing to appreciate what we already have is a radical act. Practicing daily gratitude doesn't mean ignoring your ambitions or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging that even amid challenges, there are still gifts surrounding you. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is meaningful. The practice of gratitude doesn't require grand gestures. It begins with small, quiet acknowledgments, the warmth of your morning coffee, a kind message from a colleague, the laughter of someone you love, the simple fact that you woke up to another chance. These are not insignificant moments. They are reminders that even in routine, there is richness. When you train your mind to notice them, your entire perception of life begins to change. Many people wait for something big to happen before they feel grateful. A promotion, a breakthrough, or some external validation. But gratitude isn't a response to perfection. It's a practice that invites peace into imperfection. When you choose to be thankful for what's here and now, you begin to create emotional resilience. You build an inner stability that doesn't crumble when things don't go your way, because your sense of joy isn't dependent on circumstance. It's anchored in awareness. Creating a daily gratitude ritual can be simple yet deeply transformative. Some people keep a gratitude journal, jotting down 3 things each evening that brought them peace, joy, or meaning. Others speak their gratitude aloud in the morning or whisper it to themselves in prayer or meditation. What matters is not how you do it, but that you do it consistently and sincerely. Over time, this small daily practice becomes a grounding force, rewiring your brain to recognize abundance over lack. Gratitude also extends beyond ourselves. When we make it a habit to appreciate others, to thank a team member for their effort, to express appreciation to a friend, or to simply notice the good in people, we not only uplift them, but we reinforce our own connection to humanity. Gratitude strengthens relationships, builds trust, and fosters a culture of positivity, whether in the workplace or in our personal lives. It is a bridge between hearts, and its impact often reaches farther than we'll ever know. Ultimately, gratitude teaches us this: life doesn't have to be extraordinary to be beautiful. The most powerful moments are often the quiet ones, unnoticed by the world but deeply felt by the heart. When you make gratitude a daily habit, you begin to live with more joy, more patience, and more presence. You stop chasing happiness because you realize it's already here. Step 3. Learn something new every day. Growth is not something that happens by accident. It is the result of consistent, intentional learning. Committing to learn something new every day is one of the most powerful ways to evolve, both personally and professionally. It doesn't mean you have to master a new language overnight or earn another degree. It means staying curious, open, and humble enough to admit there's always more to understand about the world, about others, and about yourself. Learning is not confined to classrooms or formal training. It happens in conversations, in observations, in quiet moments of reflection. A short article, a podcast, a meaningful dialogue, a mistake you made, all can become sources of wisdom if you're paying attention. Life itself is constantly teaching us, but we must choose to be students. The difference between people who grow and those who stay stuck is often this simple mindset. What can I learn from this? By feeding your mind with new information, you begin to expand your perspective. You start to understand ideas, cultures, beliefs, and possibilities beyond your current view. This mental expansion is not just intellectual. It's emotional and spiritual too. It teaches you empathy, adaptability, and the ability to see complexity with clarity. In a fast, changing world, those who keep learning stay not just relevant, but resilient. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a significant impact. Reading a page from a book, watching a thought-provoking video, or reflecting on a recent experience can provide valuable insights. Over time, these micro lessons compound. You might not notice the change day to day, but one day you'll speak with more clarity, think with more depth, and act with greater intention, because you've been quietly feeding your growth all along. Another essential part of daily learning is unlearning, letting go of outdated beliefs, assumptions, and habits that no longer serve you. Sometimes, what we need to learn most is not something new, but something we've misunderstood or held onto for too long. This requires courage and vulnerability, but it's where true transformation begins. Learning is not always comfortable, but it's always worthwhile. When you approach each day with the mindset of a learner, you never truly fail. You either succeed or grow. This attitude keeps you grounded in humility and inspired by possibility. It reminds you that you are a work in progress, and that's something to be proud of. To learn something new every day is to say, I'm not done becoming who I'm meant to be. And that's one of the most beautiful commitments you can make to yourself. Step 4. Take responsibility for your actions. Taking responsibility for your actions is one of the clearest signs of personal maturity and emotional intelligence. It means owning your choices, the good, the bad, and the difficult, without blaming others, making excuses, or running from consequences. In a world that often encourages blame, shifting, and defensiveness, choosing to stand in accountability is both courageous and rare. It's not always easy, but it's always empowering. Responsibility is not about self-punishment or guilt. It's about acknowledging your role in the outcomes of your life. When something goes wrong, at work, in a relationship, or within yourself, it can be tempting to look outward for causes. And while external factors do matter, true growth begins when you ask, what part did I play in this? What can I do differently next time? That question alone can open the door to powerful self-awareness and transformation. Professionally, taking responsibility builds trust and respect. Whether you're leading a team or just starting out, people notice when you're willing to admit mistakes, correct course, and grow from them. It creates a culture of accountability where people feel safe to be honest and supported in improving. Blame creates fear. Responsibility builds strength. Leaders, especially, are defined not by perfection, but by how they respond when things go wrong. Personally, this principle is equally important. When we take responsibility for our emotional responses, our habits, our decisions, and even our healing, we stop waiting for others to fix or change us. We reclaim our power. Life becomes less about what happens to us and more about how we choose to respond. That shift can change everything. From your mindset to your relationships to your future. There will be times when owning your actions feels painful. Admitting fault, saying, I was wrong, or recognizing the impact of your behavior requires humility. But in that humility is where your character grows. And when you take ownership with sincerity, you often invite forgiveness, understanding, and even deeper connection with those around you. People don't expect you to be perfect. They expect you to be real, honest, and accountable. Ultimately, responsibility is not a burden. It's a form of freedom. It frees you from the grip of victimhood, from the cycle of repeating the same patterns, and from the illusion that your life is in someone else's hands. When you take responsibility for your actions, you become the author of your own growth. You stop waiting for change, and instead, you become the change. Step 5. Speak with integrity and compassion. Words are one of the most powerful tools we have. They can heal or harm, connect or divide, inspire or discourage. Speaking with integrity and compassion means being mindful not only of what you say, but how you say it and why. It's about aligning your communication with your values, while also honoring the humanity of those you're speaking to. In every interaction, you have a choice to use your voice as a weapon or as a bridge. Integrity in speech means being truthful, consistent, and sincere. It's resisting the urge to bend the truth, to protect your ego, or manipulate outcomes. It's choosing to say what's real, even when it's difficult, but doing so in a way that reflects self-respect and respect for others. When you speak with integrity, people learn they can trust your words. They may not always agree with you, but they will know where you stand, and that reliability builds both credibility and character. Compassion in communication, on the other hand, requires empathy. It means considering not just your intention, but the potential impact of your words. Are you speaking to be right or to be kind? Are you trying to understand or just waiting to respond? Compassionate communication doesn't mean avoiding truth or sugarcoating issues. It means delivering truth with care, choosing timing with sensitivity, and listening as much as, or more than, you speak. In professional environments, speaking with integrity and compassion can significantly shift workplace culture. Teams become more cohesive when people feel safe to express concerns without fear of judgment. Leaders who communicate honestly but gently create loyalty and trust. Conflicts can be resolved more effectively when both sides are willing to be honest about their feelings, while still holding space for the other person's perspective. On a personal level, your relationships deepen when your words are rooted in both truth and love. Conversations become more meaningful, apologies become more healing, and boundaries become more respectful. Sometimes, speaking with compassion means being quiet, offering a listening ear instead of unsolicited advice. Other times, it means standing firm in a hard truth, but doing so with humility and grace. Ultimately, when you speak with integrity and compassion, your voice becomes a force for peace, both within yourself and in the world around you. Your words reflect your inner alignment. They show that you value not just being heard, but being understood, not just being right, but being kind. In a noisy world full of careless speech, your thoughtful, honest, and caring communication becomes a gift, one that can touch lives far beyond what you'll ever know. Step 6. Embrace constructive feedback. Embracing constructive feedback is one of the most vital steps toward continuous improvement and personal growth. Feedback, when given thoughtfully and received openly, serves as a mirror reflecting areas where you can evolve. Yet, it's often met with resistance because it can feel like criticism or a threat to our self-worth. The truth is, learning to welcome feedback with grace and curiosity is a mark of true professionalism and emotional strength. The first step in embracing feedback is shifting your mindset. Instead of viewing feedback as a judgment or attack, see it as a gift, a rare and valuable perspective offered to help you grow. This mindset shift requires humility and a willingness to be vulnerable. It means acknowledging that no one is perfect, and that growth often comes from recognizing our blind spots. When you adopt this attitude, feedback stops feeling like a personal slight and becomes an opportunity for transformation. Listening carefully is essential when receiving feedback. Resist the urge to interrupt, defend yourself, or explain away your actions. Instead, focus fully on understanding the other person's perspective. Ask clarifying questions if something isn't clear, and thank the person for their honesty. This not only shows respect, but also demonstrates your commitment to learning. Remember, the goal is not to react, but to reflect, to consider what the feedback reveals about your behavior or performance and how you might improve. It's equally important to differentiate between constructive feedback and criticism meant to harm. Constructive feedback is specific, actionable, and focused on behaviors or outcomes, not personal attacks. It often comes with suggestions or encouragement for change. When you receive feedback, assess its source and intent. Trustworthy feedback comes from those who genuinely want to support your development. Holding on to valuable insights while gracefully letting go of unfair criticism is a skill that grows with practice. Applying feedback takes courage and discipline. It may require stepping out of your comfort zone, developing new skills, or changing habits that feel ingrained. But every step taken toward improvement strengthens your confidence and competence. Even if progress is slow or imperfect, Commitment to action is what turns feedback into growth. Celebrate small wins along the way. Each adjustment is a step closer to the person and professional you aspire to become. Finally, embracing feedback fully transforms how you relate to yourself and others. It fosters a growth mindset, resilience, and humility. It builds trust in your relationships as others see you are open, accountable, and invested in becoming better. More than that, it teaches you to be gentle with yourself, recognizing that growth is a journey, not a destination. In this way, feedback becomes not just a tool for improvement, but a pathway to deeper self-awareness and lasting success. Step 7. Show consistent kindness. Kindness is one of the simplest, yet most profound ways to make a positive difference in the world and in your own life. When practiced consistently, kindness becomes a powerful habit that shapes how you interact with others and how you experience yourself. It's easy to be kind when things are smooth, but showing kindness consistently, especially during challenging times, is where true character is revealed. This steady kindness nurtures connection, trust, and mutual respect. Showing kindness does not require grand gestures or extraordinary efforts. Often, it's the small acts, a genuine smile, a thoughtful word, a moment of patience, that leave the deepest impressions. These acts may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they create a ripple effect, fostering goodwill and opening hearts. When you commit to kindness daily, you contribute to a culture where people feel valued and seen, which encourages others to pay it forward. Kindness also has a profound impact on your professional environment. In leadership, it cultivates a workplace culture where employees feel supported, motivated, and empowered to do their best work. When you treat colleagues and clients with consistent kindness, you break down barriers, reduce stress, and foster collaboration. This environment not only improves morale, but also drives higher productivity and creativity. Showing kindness is an investment in the success of the whole. Importantly, kindness extends to how you treat yourself. In the pursuit of growth and improvement, it's easy to fall into self-criticism and harsh judgment. Consistent kindness toward yourself means acknowledging your efforts and imperfections with compassion. It means giving yourself grace when things don't go as planned, recognizing that setbacks are part of the learning process. This self-kindness strengthens your resilience and nurtures a healthy, sustainable path toward becoming better each day. Practicing kindness consistently also means embracing empathy, making the effort to understand others' perspectives, struggles, and feelings. When you approach interactions with empathy, your kindness becomes more authentic and meaningful. You don't just act kindly because it's expected. You connect at a deeper level, recognizing the shared humanity in each person. This genuine kindness has the power to heal wounds, build bridges, and transform relationships in profound ways. Ultimately, choosing kindness daily is a commitment to live from the heart. It is a quiet strength that influences not only those around you, but also your own inner peace and joy. The world often seems hurried and harsh, but when you show kindness consistently, you become a beacon of hope and warmth. This practice enriches your life and leaves a legacy far beyond your words. A legacy of love, respect, and meaningful connection. Step 8, protect your mental and physical health. Your body and mind are the foundation upon which every success, every relationship, and every experience in life is built. Protecting your mental and physical health is not a luxury. It's a necessity. Without this foundation, the pursuit of growth, achievement, and happiness becomes fragile and unsustainable. When you prioritize self-care and health, you invest in your most valuable resource, yourself. Physical health is more than just the absence of illness. It's the presence of vitality. Nourishing your body with balanced nutrition, regular exercise, and sufficient rest fuels your energy and sharpens your focus. Exercise, for example, releases endorphins that reduce stress and elevate mood, while sleep rejuvenates the mind and body, enabling you to meet each day with clarity and strength. Small daily habits, like drinking enough water, stretching, or taking brief walks, compound over time to build a resilient, energetic body that supports your ambitions. Equally important is mental health, which often gets overlooked in the rush of daily responsibilities. Mental well-being involves managing stress, nurturing emotional balance, and cultivating a mindset of self-compassion. Protecting your mental health means recognizing when you need a pause, seeking support when overwhelmed, and engaging in practices that calm and center your mind. Whether that's meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, or connecting with loved ones. Mental health is the quiet force behind your creativity, decision-making, and relationships. In today's fast-paced world, boundaries become critical to safeguarding your health. Learning to say no, limiting exposure to toxic environments, and creating space for rest are acts of self-respect. Boundaries aren't selfish. They're essential for maintaining balance and protecting your energy. By consciously managing how and where you invest your time and emotions, you prevent burnout and maintain the mental clarity needed for consistent growth. It's also important to remember that protecting your health is a holistic journey, one that integrates physical, mental, and emotional care. Ignoring one aspect can undermine the others. For instance, poor sleep can increase anxiety, and chronic stress can affect your immune system. Approaching your well-being with a mindset of wholeness ensures you build sustainable habits that support all dimensions of your life, not just fleeting fixes or quick wins. Ultimately, protecting your mental and physical health is a profound act of self-love and respect. It says, I matter. I am worth the time and care it takes to thrive. This commitment doesn't just improve your own life. It enhances your ability to show up fully for others and face challenges with resilience. When you prioritize your health, you create a strong foundation from which all your goals, personal or professional, can be achieved with greater ease and joy. Step 9: Zen reflect on your day. Every evening reflection is the bridge between experience and wisdom. Taking time each evening to look back on your day allows you to transform the moments you lived into lessons that guide your future. In the fast pace of daily life, it's easy to rush from one task to the next without pause. Yet, this pause for reflection is crucial. It deepens your understanding of yourself, your actions, and your progress. It's not about judgment, but about insight. When you make reflection a daily habit, you create space to celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Recognizing what went well fuels motivation and builds confidence. Perhaps you handled a difficult conversation with grace, completed a challenging task, or simply maintained your focus amid distractions. These moments of success often slip by unnoticed, but reflection brings them into light, reminding you of your growth and capabilities. Equally important is reflecting on what didn't go as planned. Instead of dwelling on mistakes or failures with self-criticism, use reflection as an opportunity to understand what happened and why. Ask yourself questions like, what could I have done differently? What did I learn from this experience? How can I apply this insight tomorrow? This approach fosters a growth mindset, seeing setbacks not as endpoints, but as valuable feedback that fuels improvement. Reflection also deepens self-awareness by connecting you with your emotions and intentions. How did you feel throughout the day? Were your actions aligned with your values and goals? Did you honor your commitments to yourself and others? These questions help you notice patterns in behavior and thought, which is essential for meaningful change. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence, which in turn enhances your relationships and decision-making. Making reflection a ritual can take many forms: journaling, meditation, quiet contemplation, or even discussing your day with a trusted friend or mentor. The method matters less than the consistency and sincerity with which you engage in the process. Even a few minutes of focused reflection each evening can create a powerful habit that sharpens your clarity and fuels your growth. Ultimately, reflecting on your day every evening is a gift you give yourself. It turns the blur of daily activity into a meaningful narrative, helping you learn, adjust, and celebrate. Over time, this practice cultivates a deeper sense of purpose and direction, enabling you to become better each day, not just by chance, but by design. Step 10 to commit to progress, not perfection. The pursuit of perfection can often be a paralyzing force rather than a motivating one. Many of us set incredibly high standards for ourselves, standards that are often impossible to meet. While striving for excellence is admirable, perfectionism tends to trap us in a cycle of self-doubt, fear of failure, and procrastination. Committing to progress rather than perfection frees you from this trap, allowing you to move forward consistently and meaningfully. No matter where you are in your journey, progress means embracing the idea that growth is a continuous, sometimes messy process. It acknowledges that mistakes, setbacks, and imperfections are not signs of failure, but rather integral parts of learning and improvement. When you shift your focus from being flawless to being forward, moving, you invite resilience and patience into your life. This mindset encourages you to celebrate small wins, appreciate incremental growth, and keep going, even when the path is challenging. One of the greatest benefits of committing to progress is that it fosters self-compassion. Instead of harshly judging yourself for perceived shortcomings, you learn to recognize effort and intention as valuable achievements. This self-kindness nurtures confidence and reduces anxiety about outcomes. When you treat yourself as a work in progress rather than a finished product, you open up space for creativity, exploration, and authentic self-expression. Professionally, a focus on progress over perfection cultivates innovation and agility. In fast-moving industries, waiting for perfect conditions or perfect work can mean missed opportunities. Embracing progress allows you to take risks, learn from real-world feedback, and adapt quickly. Teams that adopt this mentality often become more collaborative, dynamic, and successful because they value learning and improvement over rigid standards or fear of mistakes. On a deeper level, committing to progress connects you with your core values and purpose. It reminds you that life is not about achieving an ideal image, but about becoming the best version of yourself over time. This perspective helps you stay motivated and grounded, even when external recognition or results are slow to come. You learn to measure success by your own standards of growth and fulfillment rather than external validation. Ultimately, choosing progress over perfection is a liberating and empowering decision. It transforms the journey of self-improvement from a source of stress into a source of joy and meaning. When you commit to getting better each day, no matter how small the step, you embrace a path of lifelong learning, resilience, and authentic success. This commitment is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent, patient, and passionately engaged with your own growth.